Hey all, and welcome back to SA2 HD Battle Championship Edition, Final Remix, plus Definitive Edition. God, these intros are shit, but hey, a completely new scene. It's not like a reverse of anything.
I know, it's a miracle, almost like, the scene that we saw at the end of the last part was also completely new and not a repeat.
But it is still just like a bunch of mocap actors standing around, and then they just, they make the world around these characters.
Clearly, there was obviously a guy, just standing there, just bouncing up and down like the robot's going.
Oh my fucking god, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
Really, there probably wasn't, but still, and also that. Yeah, no, Shadow's Eye should never be in that particular position because it just like he was proper cross-eyed for like 5 seconds there. Just no.
Okay, I will shoot things. Shadow, you will rush things. You will steal things, girl. Yes, that is my archetype. Good, plan settled. Move out!
Yeah, this is like the little subplot of the Dark Story here. They've got this mission that they're sort of passing the baton around between them. And this is the part that I feel is probably the most organic out of the Dark Side section.
Yeah.
But this level's kind of cool because it is literally just a blow shit up level.
Well, if you're not adept enough at getting all these high combos, this is the first level you'll probably end up getting like a perfect on. This is where you get the bazooka, by the way.
Yeah, it's just in that little thing that I just shot over there. But yes, this is another hover-friendly level, and this time, because you got the hover in Lost Colony, you actually have it off the bat here, so you can do all this cool shit straight away.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Also, this is basically just asset reuse the level, because it's basically just all of Metal Harbor, except a lot less like Radical.
Well, no, Metal Harbor wasn't Radical. Radical Highway is the radical one.
Look, you don't have to classify something as radical for it to be radical, okay? Call it bodacious if need be.
Yes, the new level Bodacious Highway, got it.
Oh, the 90s will never die, even though they probably should. Where are the humans, by the way? Are there, like, robots piloting those planes? Because you are able to literally blow them up.
Well, we try not to think too hard about that. Because then, we get a higher age rating.
It's very true. Although, obviously, as we progress through the game, Eggman's decision to, blow up the moon is kind of going to murder a huge number of people due to all tides and stuff. So, really, what we're dealing with is just mass genocide no matter which way you look.
Well, no, the tides will be fine, because what happens is that they then turn the moon round, so the only part affecting it is the good side of the moon.
Oh, if I can't see it, it hasn't happened.
I love that was actually Izuka's excuse when he was asked about why the moon isn't broken in future games. It's just you're seeing the good side of the moon in those games.
The good side of the moon. Like, I've heard of the dark side of the moon. We even encountered darker side in the Super Mario Odyssey playthrough, but the good side of the moon. Is there like a best side of the moon where it's at its prettiest?
Well, it's the not blown up side.
Oh, banter. Azuka has said some shit over the years, but I can't fully hate him. If you had to handle and wrangle a series and fan base this insane, you'd probably be a bit frustrated after a while as well.
Probably, but then my argument on that is that Izuka's handling of the franchise has been very haphazard.
Yes.
Obviously, you look at all the games that have come out, you're kind of just like, well, I don't think the fan base would be quite as rabid if the quality of the games was a bit more consistent. I'm
just wondering why they haven't actually replaced him yet. Not that I want him to be replaced, right now anyway, because Team Sonic Racing does look pretty hype. But, you'd think after so many, not very well received games, they would switch leaders on a dime, but for some reason Azuka has kept his job for over a decade.
It's one of those weird things, if you look at Tetsuya Nomura, obviously he's managed to maintain the Kingdom Hearts franchise because for so long, because they've been successful, they've done well, they've been well received for the most part. There's a few duds in there, but the grand scheme of the franchise has been very well received, and so it's just there's no way in hell Square Enix would ever take that off of him. It's the same with Sakurai and Smash Bros. Like, they've all been knockouts, but then you look at other franchises and other companies really, and they wouldn't hesitate to take people off a project if they thought they were just doing a terrible job.
Yeah, for sure. You sure you're not going to pick up any rings, Flame?
Well, rings don't even really matter here, given you're on a health bar system, but yeah. I do want to point out two things from that cutscene that Richie kept talking about Kingdom Hearts over. This one thing is the subtitle, Amy, your timing is impeccable, because they used the wrong your. And the other thing was, during one of the scene transitions, it had been changed from the Dreamcast version, and they hadn't moved the models to adapt to that. And so at one point, Rouge sort of gets pushed and slides awkwardly off the side of the screen. It's great. It's just like they've changed some stuff, but they haven't really accounted for what it might affect in the shot.
I actually kind of liked this level, but it can also be super frustrating at the same time if you get like a bad cycle. Because what we're doing here is, instead of emerald shards for a change, we're collecting like whole Chaos Emeralds, which I love shiny rocks, still do to this day, so that was hype for me. But sometimes you can get really awkward ones where you have to actually utilise the safe opening system that can be found up above and around the level, and sometimes you'll just find them floating in mid-air.
Yes.
This is the level where the radar system is probably the most annoying because of the unlocking the safes mechanic here, because it can be really annoying if you're down the bottom and you've got the thing blinking and you've realised that it's in a safe and maybe a bit low on time or whatever, and that's when it clocks on that you can't just get it, you got to go all the way back up here, go flick a switch and then go back down to where you already found it. That is really annoying.
Yes. I mean, I would say, so this, after my disaster with Crazy Gadget, this was my first major sticking point with the Dark Story, was I got to this level, and it's that whole thing of the area is actually quite big, and then you've got the timer, you've got the fact that the radar is actually not really that good, because obviously it's only doing one at a time, and you're kind of just going, what's going on here? Because if you get a bad cycle, then you're absolutely buggered like that, where you've got to then make your way all the way back up to the top, and it is a really cheap level that can either be okay or just unnecessarily difficult. And I think as a child I just struggled with this because it was just like, this is just unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the only hunting level that has a time limit on it. And these levels are the ones that really don't put a bloody time limit on them, because that's just a really bad idea.
Yeah, it's just it feels like an arbitrary challenge, especially when you see the opening cutscene of the story establishes that you have 15 minutes. Oh, but 5 minutes should be plenty.
Blows up!
Thank you, guys.
Sorry.
It's just a tick at this point.
Flash from the future right there. Okay, now we can open these bloody saves.
And one thing I do want to point out is them banknotes that you see flying around in the thing there, they all have Sonic's face on them for some reason.
Nice.
Which is kind of fucking weird. Sonic's just printing his own money now. Is that how much this world respects him?
Oh, he's taking after his best Smash buddy Yoshi. He's going to go to jail for tax fraud.
That fucking meme was one of them that just kind of came out of nowhere and just... It makes it funnier not knowing where it's from.
Yeah, I don't understand it in the slightest. I don't even know where it came from, but fuck it, it's a meme. I'm going to run into the ground.
That's what they're for.
Good luck getting an A rank on this, by the way. You're going to really want that 3D Green Hill if you're willing to put yourself through this.
Pretty much. And if I recall correctly, the 3D Green Hill isn't even really that good.
It's a neat little bit of fan service, but
wow.
I done did it.
Very good, very good.
You deserve all the applause on that one, Flame, because that level is just cruel.
Now imagine if you had a counting down timer here as well.
Well, this boss is fucking piss easy. So, it's not a challenge,
Fair enough, mate, fair enough. I actually do... I wish they put out, proper models and whatnot for SA1 and SA2 characters and bosses. I know there was a line of action figures, but you never had anything like the robots or the mechs and whatnot. But I guess during those days, I want to say like collectible statues and whatnot weren't as prevalent as they were now. I may be wrong. I didn't even collect action figures, I just got action figures.
Well, I think the difference these days really is that nowadays they're more better build quality collectors things, whereas back in this sort of time it was more toys. And so it's like a different culture to this kind of thing. Like basically because there's this generation of us, the man children who never grew out of toys, and we need a way to justify it to people.
Wow.
But yeah.
But even then, even not having the whole man-child element of it, you've got the reason that I think the figure market is probably more prevalent now than it felt like it was back in the day is because we are ultimately the generation that grew up on video games and wanted those things, and now we have disposable income, and therefore because we've still kept that, well, in general we are the generation with more disposable income. It's not quite correct for quite a few people, but in general, and so we're more likely to be collecting those things now because.
Okay, Richie, wrap it up. Come on now, we got actually.
We're more likely to throw our money away on tap. There we go.
Thank you. Motherfucking White Jungle, the hype is shit.
Yes. Now, this level is an interesting one if you're the kind of person who likes to take the game apart and tinker with it, because it's very obvious this is like a reskin of Green Forest.
Yes.
But what makes this interesting, and it also kind of breaks the game in a way if you're the kind of person who gives a shit about ring bonuses for some reason, but there is actually an alpha layout of Green Forest just left in this area if you sort of glitch out of bounds a bit.
Jeez.
Like, not necessarily the geometry, but like there's the line of like rings and enemies like the egg beetles and shit that someone actually synced up the leftover stuff with the pre-E3 build, and it's like they've just left Green Forest in here because fuck cleaning it up after yourself.
Well, I mean, that's not like a Sonic Team exclusive thing. Game companies do that sort of thing all the time. I guess it's easier than just deleting it from the source code.
I guess so, but it's just interesting the fact that they have the ring bonus if you get all rings in a level, and like because of some sections like this, and I think there's a little bit like it in Radical Highway as well, but where they just left things in and like you can't get it there because you know you don't know how to fire yourself the other way off that like boost pad at the start.
yeah, well, gamers found a way. God bless us, gamers.
Yeah, but like this is another section, this part here, that this is almost identical to a section from Green Forest, and that's another section that changed between the E3 build and the final one, in that they switched around the egg beetle things with those gun mech things.
Oh, cool.
And this section here was also originally meant to be part of Green Forest, where you would fall down and use the light dash, but I imagine this is something else from adding shadowing as an extra character, that they decided to use this spot to give him the light dash and moved it to Metal Harbour for Sonic.
I'm assuming you were showing that off and not taking a shortcut just so you could explain that.
Yeah, it's totally not forced to have it.
Fair enough, mate, fair enough. I'm watching you though, don't make any more cock-ups on my watch.
Yes, because your runs are always perfect, aren't they?
Absolutely, never a single mistake. Look, get over the fact that I died in Flying Battery in Mania, alright? Jesus Christ.
No, if I have one thing that I can fuck with you about, like, it distracts attention away from the time you died to Knuckles, okay?
That
Just
was
take
over 10 years ago now. Jesus Christ.
But it's on the internet, so it's there forever, so suck my A rank.
True, I mean, also it's exactly the same thing as Arid-san's day and not recording it. That's still a peak moment of internet history.
Well, HFC has been getting worse over the years, so...
Yeah, did that sort of dip, like, astronomically as soon as she took me on?
Cratered would be a more apt term, I think.
Oh well, as long as I make everyone else look good. But yes, here's another one of the spam A to win bosses.
They can jump in the water and not die, by the way, because that's fair.
Well, of course it is.
Well, they don't tend to do that. They tend to just awkwardly stand on the fence around the edge, which is kind of really nerve-wracking sometimes.
Definitely. And also, did you guys see Big in the cage in that there?
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Blows
I am
up!
actually glad. I'm actually glad that they put Big back into the HD re-release, because it's one of the things where he's not in the original SA2 battle because they removed him for some bizarre reason. So it's nice to see them put them back in for the re-release.
So, Shadow decides to save Rouge, A, because she has the Chaos Emeralds, but B, because she reminds him of Maria for some reason. This scene was always hyped to me, though, no cynicism here.
Yeah, it's like it's about to blow up thing. It's all like that one scene from the OVA, really, isn't it, with the bomb about to go off.
Mm-hmm.
Just, that Land of Sky, Land of Darkness theme, which is sick as fuck.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I know, that's South Island, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, South Island is a sick as fuck jam as well, to be fair, but...
Shadow, what do you think it's like on Earth?
People will draw inappropriate fan art of me forever, Maria. I should destroy them all. Wipe it out before it even happens.
Hey, you liked that one picture of him in a Speedo, don't act otherwise.
Oh, did not need that image.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, that time you were doing that Twitter thing and you were getting up to the one that's like, share your most recent DM?
Oh, fuck me, no. Go away. Go to hell.
Oh.
So yeah, Shadow was once pensive and philosophical, and then it all came crashing down when he was frozen for like 50 years, and now he wants to go back to the past, but he can't.
Doesn't this basically mean that Shadow is going to become part of the Avengers?
Oh, Captain America. I was talking about Samurai Jack, but whatever floats your boat, mate.
You see, I don't think I've ever actually watched Samurai Jack. I think I might have watched it when I was younger, but not much. So that one doesn't stick with me. But obviously, Captain America definitely does, because really, how can you have avoided Captain America in this day and age?
Oh, I mean, I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Fair dues, mate, fair dues. Oh my god, all the mocap acting in this game. It's the best on Eggman, because he actually does look like an egg-shaped man at this point. Because he was mostly in his Eggmobile in SA1, but here they have him walking about. It's especially funny in the Chow Gun.
Yoish!
It was kind of funny just then when Shadow's spine just clipped through his stomach and no one noticed anything.
He had to visit the med bay after that. He didn't want to create a scene. I am genius. I am great.
I am brilliant.
No, not the good side of the moon.
Yeah, I do have to question how nobody noticed this this body in space near the planet. It's just like we didn't have two moons.
Maybe that's just how things are in that universe, mate.
Clearly, like they clearly moved to Tatooine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, the whole point of the game, really, the plot, is that there's loads of government cover-ups and conspiracies and stuff like that. And the fact that they've shown the Earth as being round, that in itself is like bullshitting the people. So to have one more thing, that really don't.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I heard in a deleted cut the laser actually went right past the moon and blew up Pluto, so that was Sonic Team predicting the future.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Shoutouts to Pluto being reinstated as a planet, by the way.
When did that happen?
I remember talk of it a little while ago. I can't remember exactly.
Well, it will always be a planet in my heart, okay?
I mean, same, definitely same. But I don't remember seeing anything about it being reinstated as a planet.
Well, whatever.
Do we actually care that much?
Not really, no. Like, oh, we blew up the moon and nobody cared, and Rouge is like, here, look at you. Here.
Totally embarrassing.
Well, I mean, it's kind of true. Like, if you're doing a stunt that big, you'd expect at least a bit of a reaction for it.
Well, the people who would react to it are dead right now, so what were you expecting?
Yeah,
true. Oh, continuity!
There you go.
Continuity to SA1.
Local anthropomorphic fox gets giant Chaos Emerald by comparison.
Somehow carries it home.
Yosh, I like that. I'm reading it out even though the subtitles are on screen at all times.
Well, of course, and also he's clearly not looking in the direction of that letter, otherwise he would have picked it up and been reading it.
Jesus, was the guy mocapping Eggman on like 4 cups of coffee that morning?
It must have been like, fuck it, down all the Red Bull. I need something today.
Is it me or is like Rouge a lot more tan in this game compared to later games?
Yeah, don't know so much. Like, I think it might be the weird lighting playing up. Like, I can see what you mean, like, around her shoulders and that. It does look a little bit dark.
Very shortly. Just a reminder.
I would say it's probably a lighting thing, because if you look at her ears, because generally her ears are the same colour as the rest of her skin. So I would say probably oh, here we go.
Penis Car 2018 edition.
All these years later and it's still not funny.
Do you know what actually caused that during my recording? It was a weird dazzle thing in conjunction with my splitter and TV, which cut off a little bit, and you can probably tell if you compare the two videos, like the two versions of the playthrough. It cut off a little bit at the bottom of the screen, where you can see like the highlights in the engine of Rouge's Batmobile. So yeah, it looks clearly like ears right now, but it looked like two globules near the bottom of the screen in the original.
Oh. But yeah, I have to say this is definitely a lot worse to play than Tails' version. Largely because Rouge's car just slips and slides bloody everywhere, and there are kind of parts of the track which have got no edge, and you can quite quickly fall off them if you're not careful.
Yeah, you want to pay attention to where you're driving here a little bit more, because I was just sort of ramming all over the place in the Tails version, whereas here I'm at least keeping my eye open for random holes in the floor.
Yeah, for sure. This whole highway is not up to code. It's like the president's whining and dining in style while the celestial bodies of Earth are being nuked and the highways of the Earth are not being... People aren't protected. It's no wonder they didn't give a shit when the moon got half destroyed.
Well, exactly. It's just like they know that they're probably going to die when they go on a bloody car ride because some random bat's going to ram into their car and send them careening into the abyss.
Or maybe it is just like, natural selection taking control. Like, if you're stupid enough to drive through a hole in the floor, then maybe, that gets rid of you.
Jeez, I didn't realise you were that sort of guy, Flame, but maybe the signs were there all along.
Yeah, well, I should probably stop, given, people still think I'm a psychopath from that One Until Dawn video. But,
yeah, when you shot that girl in the face with no remorse and no hesitation either.
I didn't fucking like her!
So she deserved to die, being shot in the face!
Look, when my voice goes high, you don't have to take the piss, it just happens!
Oh gosh, Detroit Become Human is gonna be fun.
Oh yes. Oh god. Yes, we are still on this track, that's why we're bullshitting so much.
Oh yeah, we are still on this track. Sorry, I kind of reached a state of nirvana where the penis car and I had basically come to terms with each other, and we learned who we were finally.
There's nothing Tom relates with more than a giant penis.
Yes. All we need now is a massive Mufasa head in the sky who's going, "Remember who you are."
Well, Flame, it's funny you say I relate to a giant penis so much because you are one of my best friends.
Oh god. If we're getting like this in this one course, I hope you're looking forward to the extras.
Oh, very much so, mate, very much so. And we are finally done. Race towards that fucking Roadrunner background, Rouge. You can do it.
Oh yes, I'm sure this fucking 144p JPEG looked the shit in 2001.
So we were chasing Tails, who was chasing the president, who was trying to get away from Tails, who is unaware that Rouge is chasing him.
Also, Tails looks like a shiny Tails there. Look, he's the wrong fucking colour.
Yeah, that's very true.
How do you even achieve A ranks in these racing things exactly?
I don't know, I think it might be rings and time.
Yes.
And maybe it's because I'm effectively drifting, but anyway, here is major filler level if the last one weren't enough.
Oh, yeah.
Although...
the music's good, Mr. Unsmiley, and all that good shit, but this is the one level I struggled with the most as Shadow, I think, as a kid, because there's a mechanic here, we're going to see it very shortly, where you have to continually bounce on a spring, and for whatever reason, my little babby reflexes just couldn't handle the timing.
Ha 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 ha.
Exactly, yeah.
But yes, this, I'll say it's filler. This was originally intended to be a Sonic level, going by some of the early screenshots of this, and again, I think it flashed by in that E3 trailer. But, and you can tell by the style of music as well, this is more akin to a Sonic theme than a Shadow theme. Because the other ones are more the darker, emo sort of music with the Everett Bradley vocals buried deep in the mix.
Oh, I hate my parents, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, wow.
Well, it's not the stars don't twinkle, the moon don't shine, all other ambiguous bollocks, but, you know, like, this is a Sonic jam through and through. But this is also probably the shortest of the action stages, like, we've just got that one little section there to go, and then that's the end of the level.
Yep, died a lot there as well, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess I've just got used to A jump, but like I can imagine trying to do the tricks on the rails can be a little bit fiddly, because the rails here, they're not quite as smooth as they were in like Shadow or later games.
Well, this is the start of like 3D rails in the series, so whoa, very nice.
Yeah, that is one section where you can fuck yourself over, because there have been a few times where I've tried to do the trick at the end and overshot the goal ring.
Count control! C for crap. Filler.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, so we're Tails chasing the President, who is unaware he's being followed by Shadow, who was previously chased by Rouge.
When the chaser becomes the chasee or some shit, I don't fucking know.
Oh, Tails, you're gonna hit the... Oh, no!
Watch out for the backdrop!
You can tell this was made like the early 2000s, because they're still all using walkie-talkies and whatnot.
Yeah, nowadays it'd be like with on Discord on a fucking iPhone or some shit.
We did it! Let's go, Amy! Yeah!
Was Tails' hand missing there for a second?
I didn't see it, but maybe.
Well, it's Sonic Team, never put anything past them. Now it's time for Sonic to pretend to be badass.
Just leave it to me. This time,
Sorry, what? Can you speak up a little, please?
Turn the music up, got it. I like to imagine that he's just got a radio in his walker and that's just blasting out his theme whenever he shows up.
I mean, that would be pretty awesome. I do quite like Eggman's theme in this game. Just
Oh,
like,
hell
the
yeah.
Eggman, just, it's awesome.
Like, yeah, I know he has the, like, more established Eggman theme nowadays from, like, Unleashed and that. Oh yeah, we got the Terry R coming up.
Oh yeah.
Also, he has no eyes.
Yeah, he lost his pupils.
Why? Flame, explain why.
I did actually mention this in the earlier part, but the reason why this happened is because the voice directors didn't properly understand English expressions and onomatopoeia and the like, and so when they took the script which said Terrier, where a voice actor would usually interpret that as make a screaming sound, this particular group of voice directors wanted the voice actor to say Terrier as a word, and that's like sums up the faults with this game's voice direction in a nutshell.
I guess so. Yeah, man, we've come a long way in terms of like voice direction in the Sonic series.
We really have. Like, for all you can say about like people who don't like the current voice actors and that, I like them, but you know, it's kind of divisive, but like at least the direction's solid these days.
Definitely. I mean, I think sort of the biggest issue probably is that the 4Kids cast pretty much reached a level of excellence where sort of they had it down pat, and then pretty much as soon as they got to that point, they were then replaced. It was just like, oh. And then this cast have had to kind of try and build themselves up again.
Yeah, I get you, mate.
I think they
you.
get in there, but then I don't know whether they're quite there yet for all of them.
Good. We got one decapitated Eggman head. Success.
I'll put that on the shelf for the others.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Green light for launch. Primary engine
So is this from Sonic's perspective?
Liftoff countdown.
No, it's not.
9.
Well, they slapped this cutscene in the dark side anyway. I guess it's just to kind of show where this is in terms of the plot.
I guess so, yeah. Well, where is the plot going? You'll see next time when we conclude the dark side of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle HD. See you then. Blows up!
Fuck's sake.